This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, my bad about that time confusion there.
You're good.
Where you at right now? Is that the college dorm?
No, I'm at my girlfriend's house right now.
Mm. Okay, cool. Yeah, so just to get right into it, pretty much what I've noticed works best on these calls. I'm just gonna get a little bit of a better idea of where you're at right now and like really where you're trying to go. I've helped a lot of people, land setting positions, closing positions, and train them and give them the skills, but I can't help everyone. I hope you could understand that. And
Yeah.
based on, whatever you tell me, then I'll just let you know. If I feel like I'm able to help you, I'll just show you what that would look like.
So right now, I signed up for that summer academy program, and I got all the modules done and everything ready to go. I just need to actually put my skill into action. So right now, I'm just having a hard time trying to find someone who actually needs a setter or a closer.
Hmm.
So that's
Okay.
mhm.
Okay. So yeah, we could definitely get into that, but I just, want to understand, right? Because sales, for example, right? There's a thousand different ways that you could do it, a thousand different places that you get into. As far as appointment setting, like you were just looking for like, more money, more income, more freedom.
Pretty much all three of those.
Okay, so more income so you can get more freedom.
Yep.
Okay, and like in regards to, monthly income, let's say, like how much are you looking to make off of appointment setting?
I'm at least, I don't expect to make much starting out. It's just how it goes. But I at
Well,
least
it doesn't have to go like that.
want to get up to 30K or more a month.
Hmm. Okay. So like, I mean, I guess in the short term, that's in the long term, right? You want to
Yeah.
get to 30, like in the short term, right? Like if you were able to be given all the skills and, a good appointment setting job that, has opportunities to generate, I don't know, 5K, 6, 7K a month. Like how much would you be trying to make monthly?
Right around there, 4 to 5K a month, really.
Hmm. Okay. And like what's the gap relative to what you're making right now? So if you want to get to like 4 or 5K, what is that? Like double your current income or?
It's at least triple.
All right, so you're doing like 1,000, anywhere from 1,000 to like 1,500 a month. Is that fair?
Hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, besides Summer Academy, like what else have you looked into to, make that a reality and start making triple what you're making right now?
So I did. I started a Shopify account, and it just ended up working. I went through a guy called Adrian Morrison, and what happened was he ended up taking like $3,000 of what I paid him to do. Like he was gonna help me set up a Shopify account and help
Yeah.
run it. He gave me like 20 winning products, but he never told me where he got them from, so I couldn't actually like just sell them. Um,
Okay.
the store was half set up. I had an agency called Constant Contact come through and kind of look through everything, and they said, "Yeah, this guy basically screwed you over."
Okay. So you tried to get into the Shopify space and kind of got burned.
Yeah,
So now where you're at, as far as like, okay, so you try Shopify, back to appointment setting. The only thing you really look to in appointment setting is Thumber, right?
hmm, yep,
And that's you said that's like a completely free mentorship.
yeah.
Okay. And how has that been going for you?
It's been going pretty well. Like I said, they're just the only thing I really need is to get an offer. But as far as them, like I don't know, I just feel like if I were to actually get an offer, like they kind of just leave you alone. Like they're not actually there to help you through the process.
Mm.
You
What do you
know,
mean by that?
so like I know that they stated that like they give you help on what to say, like your first couple offers. But from what I'm seeing through people in the chat, they're not very helpful to each other. They're kind
Mm.
of like go back and read the modules or something like that, and it's just like it's not very helpful.
Okay. Okay. So like I think we spoke a little bit in the DMs about this, but
Mhm.
like what had you reaching out for, free outside help and, because a couple things, right? Do you feel like that free outside help is going to really, are you confident that's going to get you to 4 or 5K a month?
Oh, absolutely.
That their help is.
I mean, it's. I feel confident that they're getting me to a point where I can at least start making money. I mean, I
Okay,
try.
and why do you feel confident about that? Like, what is it about it that's helping you feel like that?
I feel like it's. I want to say more the skill I learned through the modules. It's just again just getting an offer to actually exercise my skills.
Mm, okay. So can I challenge you on that?
Yeah,
Okay, for sure. So pretty much, like, what sport do you like?
basketball.
Basketball? Great. Okay. Do you know who do you think the best in the NBA is?
Hmm.
I won't debate you on it. Who do you think the best in the NBA is
Retired player Michael Jordan.
right now?
Uh, I'm gonna have to
If
go
you had to guess.
probably Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay, Giannis, right? Giannis, do you feel like it's fair to say Giannis has the best skills?
Yeah.
Okay, so Giannis got, and what did he have to do to get those skills, right? He had to get the best training, right?
Yep.
So Giannis got the best skills and the best training. And does he look around at the end of the year and have to wonder where he's going to go play, or it's just like he could play anywhere?
Can play anywhere.
Okay, so in relation to you and your setting journey or your sales journey, like, do you not feel like the same thing should on? Like, if you got the best training, they gave you the best skills, you wouldn't have to look for an offer.
Yeah.
So what I normally see, and what I'm trying to say, what I normally see in these situations is that I get this a lot. I do hundreds of these calls, and a lot of people pretty much just think like, oh, like, I got the skills down, but if it's like I gotta find an offer, that's usually not how it works, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, since you haven't implemented those skills yet, you don't even necessarily really know how, skilled you are or not. But if you had the best skills from the best training, then you wouldn't be looking for an offer.
Yeah.
Does
I think.
that resonate with you?
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So you think that's right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, why do you feel like that's right?
Well, I mean, I shouldn't have a hard time looking for an offer if that was true. You know.
hmm So, okay, I respect that. So do you feel like maybe you don't have the best skills right now, or you're not necessarily as confident as you were saying about getting on an offer?
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much, right? So you tried, Thumber and all this stuff, right? And you're not really confident that's going to get you the results that you need to get.
Yeah.
So like, let's say, for example, that, I were able to give you the skills or able to give you the frameworks and everything that I use to, generate six figures in sales. And you were able to, just copy that system and make money off of sales and get to, you said like 3x your current income. Like money's cool and all, and we all need it. Like, what would that do for you maybe personally?
Personally, it would help me get me and my girlfriend out of the situation we're in right now.
What situation are you talking about?
We're both not really living our best lives right now. We got personal things going on right now, and she's getting ready to graduate, and I just graduated in 2024, and so you
That's
know,
college.
no, high school.
Okay. And like, what is the life that, you guys want to live that you're talking about? Because that can mean different things to different people.
Going to see places that usually normal people can't go see, or help people in need or things like that.
Mm. So like, what's a place you want to see?
She wants to go see the Bahamas.
hmm
I
Okay. And then you would take her there, obviously, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So like, let's say, you were able to achieve that, and that's something that you guys want to do, but that's what you would do. Like, how would that make you feel if you were able to, take her to the Bahamas from everything that you were able to generate in your sales career?
that would make me feel a lot better about myself. It actually make me happy, probably, most likely.
So you said it would make you feel happy. Are you not happy right now?
I'm happy, but I'm just not. I feel like because I'm not. I feel like I'm not doing enough to help her.
Mm.
And she always sending me these Instagram reels of nice places, but since I'm not making enough money, I just feel like kind of a disappointment in a way.
Okay, so pretty much like every time you see those videos coming in, you feel disappointed. You're somewhat happy because, we all are, right? But like
Yeah,
you could feel better.
yeah,
Okay, I respect that. So like obviously like and can you imagine that though? Like actually being there on the beach in the Bahamas, you look
Hmm.
at the bank account, see that you made 4,000, 5,000 just this month off of sales. Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
Okay, for sure. So like obviously that's the top of the mountain, right? Like that's where we're at right now. And to be logical and fair, right? We have to look at right now we're at the bottom of the mountain, looking up because we haven't done any of that yet.
hmm.
So let's say that this problem, goes on and you're stuck making a fourth of what you want to make for the next 3, 6, 12 months. Like how would that affect you?
It, it wouldn't be the greatest. Because I'm paying a loan on $7,000 right now for a Jeep. I put three down, so I still got 4,000 left to go. And so I mean, I guess it doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great. So pretty much just like a lot of bills
Yeah,
piling up that you're not able to pay. And like obviously that's what it would do. Like how would that make you feel though?
make me feel trashy.
Hmm. And are you confident that it's not going to be how the next few months are looking based on what you're currently doing?
I want to say I'm not fully confident.
Yeah. So if you got to think about it for that long, you're not confident. Like right now, for example, right? I manage a sales team right now.
Yeah.
Last year we did 10 million. January, February we did 2 million. March we almost did 3 million. If you ask me, are we going to hit 20 million in sales this year? I'm gonna say hell yeah, of course we are. You know what I mean? So if you got to pause and think about something that long, it's probably safe to say that you're not that confident about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, pretty much like what does the best version of yourself, the person that's making 3 times what you're making right now, do starting today to really make that a reality? And what are their actions like?
Well, his actions are he actually works on it. He actually gets an offer and he practices his skills every day for just a couple hours. Um, it's kind of like in the Thunder Academy video. They said they have 48-hour guys and you have 72-hour guys. Who it just depends on what you're trying to do. You got
Hmm.
nothing. It's easy.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely willing to come home after a long days of work and work on it.
Yeah. So I mean, you can, work on all different types of things. Like I could, go try to teach myself how to build houses right now and work on it a lot. But that might not get me the results that I'm looking to get. It's just like Giannis, right? Like he didn't just practice skills, he practiced the right skills. So do you feel like you need to, you know, get the right skills and then put that work into those skills?
I would say so. Yeah.
Why would you say so?
Because, well, for one, like y- for him, he can't train on somebody else's skill set. He's got to do it what works for him. What way he feels like he needs. That's gonna make him better. Maybe what I'm doing right now isn't gonna make me better. You know, I'm,
And
I'm putting.
okay, I go respect that.
Yeah,
I definitely go respect that. And like in relation to Giannis, right? Since we're already talking about him, like, do you feel like he went and got outside paid help, private schools, wherever his parents were able to send him, right? Or do you think he just got the same help that other kids in his town or neighborhood were getting at the local recreation place?
I think he got other help. I don't. I see a lot of these videos where these guys will get on an NBA team and they'll have a trainer within the workplace, but then I see them on another person's video getting different type of training that's really benefiting them in their own personal way.
And you think he paid for that?
Not really.
You think he got it for free? Like, do you think, like, based, and maybe he didn't pay for it, maybe his parents did. Do you think that he got the help that he needed to get where he got for $0?
I would say so. Yeah, yeah.
He got it all for free.
Not for free. he probably also obviously had to pay for it, you know,
Okay.
sort of help. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. And I think he did pay for it, obviously. If you feel like he didn't, maybe he didn't. But like, do you feel like the best help can be free help? If it were that easy, right? To get free help to, build your sales skills or build your basketball skills, whatever you want to get into, right? Don't you think everybody should just watch a couple YouTube videos and start closing $100,000 deals the same day?
Yeah.
Is it that easy?
No, it's not.
No. Okay. Okay. So like I said, like, do you feel like in your case, like you're ready to really just draw a line in the sand? Stop thinking the way that we were thinking yesterday, because the person that thinks the way that you do now is not going to be the same person and the same actions as somebody who's making, 3 times what you're currently making,
Yeah.
and really just hold yourself fully accountable to that goal and getting the outside help that you need to get to make that a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sound maybe a little uncertain there, or just maybe was that
Oh, I was just thinking on it. Yeah.
you were thinking about it, right?
Hmm.
Okay, for sure. So, I mean, pretty much, I mean, based on everything that you just told me, I mean, I've seen the scenario multiple times. I've heard of Thumber. They're decent, they're fair. I don't think they're, bad. But I've seen the scenario multiple times. I don't feel like there's any reason that I wouldn't be able to help you. So if you don't mind, I'd just walk you through what that would look like.
I would love to do it. I don't have the money because
Mm-hmm.
I know that everybody has to make money off of something somehow, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to probably go through a training course with you. I just don't have money to do that right now because I got things I have to pay for.
Hmm. Okay, so you have money, right? And we can get to, money and how the program works and all that cool stuff, if you like, of course. But like you have money, but you have stuff to pay for pretty much. That's
Hmm.
what you're saying.
Yep.
Mm. All right. So would a program that helped give you the skills to make more money, soon as the next 30 to 60 days, that's what I normally typically see. Like, would that be the problem or is that the solution?
That's more of a solution.
Okay, so why do you feel like you're looking at it as a problem?
I'm looking at it as a problem because I don't currently make much. I work for a temp service, and so what they do is they take $3 to $4 of what you make. So I'm making 15 right now, and with them taking that much money, so I'm really making less than $15 an hour. I'm just not.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being real. I appreciate that because like most of the time, like I said, I do hundreds of these calls. And most of the time what I see is that, people get up here and they act like they have it all figured out. And you definitely haven't done that. So I respect you for that. But, what I'm pretty much trying to say is like, do you feel like not doing anything and staying in the place that you're at where you're not confident that you're going to get the results that you want to get is the best decision?
No, it's not the best decision.
Okay. And is that what you feel like you're going to do?
Probably, yeah.
Why?
Well, it's just because I don't have, you know, my parents aren't the type of people to help me out with like things like say if I were to buy if you're like trying to sell me a course like try to buy it, my parents aren't gonna help me. It's just kind of me, you know.
No, I understand that, but it's not your parents' life, it's your life, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So like back to you, right? Like if you know that free help is not the best help and you're not confident that it's going to take you to making 3 times what you're currently making, and you don't want to be stuck what you're currently making, what I'm trying to say is like doing nothing and not putting yourself in an uncomfortable position to actually be able to make what you want to make, is that the best choice?
no,
Okay, exactly. So like then why would you do it?
I don't
Because
know.
it's comfortable?
I just thought,
And it's no hard feelings here. Just trying to
yeah,
help you understand, right? I
yeah,
haven't even shown you a program or anything yet. I'm just trying to help you understand that if we keep thinking the way that we're thinking today and say, okay, in order to not put myself in an uncomfortable position, I'm just gonna stay here and avoid paying for anything or avoid getting the help that I actually need. And you're just gonna stay right there.
yeah. You're right.
Exactly. So it's like, like I said, it doesn't sound like you want to do that, but it might be like a little bit of I don't usually like to use this word, but maybe fear.
Yeah, fear. For one,
Hmm. Hmm. What do you feel like might be behind that?
I feel like what might be behind it is just trying ways to make money before, and it just not working out, and just I'm kind of running out on trying to find ways,
Hope,
I guess.
hope, pretty much hope.
Yeah, hope.
Okay, so like, and do you feel like it relates at all to, the whole situation with the Shopify you explained to me,
Hmm.
stuff like that? You got burned, right?
Yeah.
So listen, it happens, right? Not every program is a fair program. Not every person is an honest person. But like, think of it like, let's say a restaurant, right? Like if you went to a restaurant and they ripped you off completely, and you paid $100 for these plates for three of your friends and your girl, right? Paid $500, and they give you these little plates and you're ripped off. Like, do you stop going out to eat?
I just find somewhere else to.
Okay, so why would you do that with your own career? That's going to lead to you making money, which is way more important than going out to eat, right? You wouldn't stop doing that to going out to eat.
Yeah.
So why would you do that for your own career that's actually going to generate you money, take you to the Bahamas, do the things that you want to do?
I guess it's just the fear of going into debt with someone.
Hmm. No, and yeah, I respect that, of course. But like there's, really a whole, can I give you some perspective on that?
Yeah.
It's just like there's like a whole, misconception that it's like by all the safe people who are stuck somewhere between the middle and bottom. They're definitely not at the top. That, oh, going into debt to build your skills, or, spending a lot of money or putting yourself in a tight position to build your skills or get the help that you need is dangerous, and stay safe and all this stuff. And you could do that at the end of the day because it's really your decisions, not mine. But it's like, that's just going to have you stuck right here.
Yeah.
And based on everything that we've been talking about, I don't feel like you really want to be stuck
I really don't.
here. Okay. So what do you do to get out of there?
What I've been doing personally is trying to find help. So, may
Yeah, of course. And you found the help. I mean, you got the help from Summer. But anybody could sign up for that. That's easy.
yeah.
I mean, anyone, my neighbor could sign up for that. He could sign up for that. It's free. It's easy. It's comfortable. You don't get any results on it. You just look at your phone. You might be stuck in the same position, but you
Yeah.
just look at your phone and you're like, screw that. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do now as far as realigning your actions to actually making 4 to 5K a month a reality?
I really haven't thought about it in that way.
Well, now that we're, I mean, like now that we're thinking about it, what do you do?
Probably put my skill to use if I'm gonna learn it. Um, like I said,
Get,
we've been talking about how like I've been trying to find an offer, but if I can't get an offer after everything I've learned, then that's an issue. Um,
so then the skills aren't where they need to be.
yeah.
So do you take the help that you actually need to get? And this is all about you. This is not about the program or any of that stuff, right? Because there's 1,000 programs and 1,000 different stuff.
Yeah.
I can give you the tools, the same tools that work for me that, once upon a time I spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars in mentorship. You don't always need to spend that much, but I spent that much to get the help that I needed. But
Yeah.
it's all about you. I could give you the tools and the skills. I could give you the script I made $100,000 with. But if you don't stop thinking the way that you're thinking right now, then none of it's going to work or matter.
Hmm.
So it's like, what do you do?
Be confident, maybe.
Be
Uh,
confident in what?
in my skill, maybe, or actually take the help that someone's offering to give me, such as like
Exactly.
what you're trying to do for me.
Exactly. And it's literally just like, this is the biggest part. Like I said, I can teach you all the frameworks and the skills and reframing and objection handling and all this cool stuff, or DM setting, how to set someone to appointment every time, as long as they're qualified, and you can make commissions, right?
Yeah.
But if you can't overcome yourself in the way that you think, you're not going to be able to book anyone in. You might book a few and make a couple commissions and make 1,000 a month and be like, oh yeah, I made 1,000 a month off sales, you know? But when you're going to sit in front of prospects that are thinking the same way that you think, and if you're not able to be a leader that actually takes action in their own life and doesn't think the way that the prospects think, why are they going to believe you when you try to shift the way they think? You have no conviction when you talk because you haven't done it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really going to be the biggest thing that I noticed out of everything I learned, everything I paid for sales. It's like if you can't master that and master yourself, then it's like you probably shouldn't. It's probably not for you.
Yeah.
hmm So ultimately, or do you feel like you're going to let yourself fall into that trap where it's not for you because you let fear get in the way and stop you and hold you in the spot that you're at right now, or do you take the outside help that you need?
Take the outside
Just
help.
okay. All right. So pretty much what I'm going to do is just walk you through what I can do for you,
Okay.
and then we'll see what that looks like and go from there.
All right.
All right. Awesome. Share my screen with you. Just give me 1 second.
Alrighty.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet. It's
Can you
loading.
see it?
Yeah, I can see it now.
All right, cool. So currently I manage a sales team. I told you a little bit about it. Like I said, I won't get too much into me, just more so like, what I do, what I can do for you. So, been in sales a long time. Currently, I'm running an offer. Once upon a time, I was running a completely different high ticket coaching offer, and I had a lot of closers and setters coming to me for, outside help. And I felt like I wasn't really fulfilling myself. So I decided to help them. I made the outcome program. So how it works, it's for setters and closers with the opportunity for setters to become closers and get the training they need to make even more money. I know you said like 30K a month. Those are typically numbers that you would see off of clothing, right? Not setting.
Yeah.
So I also provide that. So in month one, what I do is kind of just like how we did on this call. I would just like evaluate where you're at in your current journey and like what's been working for you and not working for you. Right now, not much has really been working because we're just getting started and we don't have the tools and the skills. I provide you with the coaching that you need through coaching call and constant support and a course that, I built based on the exact framework and system that I used. Because, how I explain it to people is like a lot of people go into sales scared and nervous and all this stuff, but there's nothing to be nervous about. When you have a system that works, there's nothing to be nervous about. Like right now, if you want me to be completely transparent with you, I am so sick. I'm very sick. Maybe you could have heard by my voice or not, but I'm not any more nervous or any more irregular than I would be on another day. Why? Because it's a plug and play system that if you know where you want to go every single time, you just do the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
And that's what I teach. That's what I teach in my program to make sure you're that confident. When you go in, you could just get lost your relationship, hit a car, crashed your car, whatever the case may be. You pull up to a sales call, you pull up in a DMs, you pull up in an appointment, setting an appointment, whether it's on the phone, and you do the same thing, the same framework every time. Does that sound helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just month one, where I really get you going with the frameworks and all this different stuff so that you have all the information. In month two, I know you said you're having some trouble finding an offer, and I think we attributed it to you not really having the skills yet. So not only do I give you the skills, but based on all the money I told you I spent on high tech coaching and all this stuff, I've rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest coaches out there. I'd be careful when I say the biggest, but people who are doing anywhere from 50K a month on their offer all the way up to 500K a month. And I
Hmm.
have relationships with these people. They need closers and setters on their offers. So what I do is take people from my program and plug them into their offers, give you guys a job to start making anywhere from 3 to 10 to 15, 20K a month off sales. That's when the real training starts. So once I really have you on an offer and you're really like, you know, actually putting in implementing the frameworks and the systems that I'm giving you into play, and you might fall on your face the first couple times, then I can really review what you're doing and why it's not working for you. So we can make quick fixes, quick changes to get you the kind of commissions that you want. For you, you said to start off would be about four to 5,000, which is a very, very achievable goal. Like when you said 30,000, I'm like, all right, well, that's gonna take a lot of coaching, a lot of work. You said
Yeah.
4 to 5,000, that's nothing. We can easily knock that. So what I also do is at 90 days, I just check in with you to see if you're satisfied with the offer that you're currently on. I say 90 days because I have to put something in the program. But, if you hit me at any time and you're like, yo, Jay, I don't really like this offer right now, and the way that they're treating us or the way the commission structure is, I just get you moved. It won't be overnight, so I'm not like any kind of magician, Houdini, but it will be in a fair amount of time. So like anywhere from like 7 to 14 days. I try to not keep anyone out of work for more than 14. Did that all sound helpful that I just covered right there?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And why did it?
Because you're actually explaining to me how you're able to help me and what you can do for me.
Hmm. Okay. And like, what about it specifically? Like,
About like the program or like,
yeah, no, just like this is months 2, 3, and 4. Like, what about these months specifically you feel like will give you the help you need to get going?
well, one, that you're able to remove me from an offer if I'm not liking it, and you're not. And something that really caught me was when you said you don't like to keep anyone out of work for more than 7 to 14 days. That
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah. So the security is like kind of important to you.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, this is why I created, 2, 3, and 4 security. And then as we go into, phase three, which is months 5 and 6, over here, it could definitely be a time that we start prepping you to, be a closer because we don't want you appointment setting forever. I call it the growth stage. We're just going to multiply what's already working for us by 2, 3, 4, right? And then what I do is I build a portfolio for you so you can get any job as a setter and closer after this. So like we'll take all the DMs that you were able to close and successfully, make something happen from and make commissions from, and all the people that you've worked with, potentially some big names, right? And I'll package that in. So my whole purpose is that I don't want you under my wing forever or anything like that. I want you to go out and explore and get on different offers and be able to say, wow, I got this value from Jay and it was awesome. Okay. So, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as the program goes. So, do you feel like, I guess, that can get you to your goal of making, you 5,000 a month?
absolutely.
Hmm. All right. And why do you feel like, what about it? Do you feel like we'll get you there?
Well, one, the security. Two, you're there for your employees. I'm really just those main two things, and you're willing to help them. You know,
Hmm.
you're there with them,
Okay.
like,
For
and
sure.
that's what I like about your program from what I've seen. And so, yeah,
Hmm. Okay, for sure. And is there anything about it like you're confused about or you didn't really like before I go into potential next steps?
nope.
Okay, for sure. So, I mean, as far as the program goes, how it would work pretty much is like we go over, the tuition and everything. We get you onboarded, and then we would get you booked into, your first coaching call, give you access to the course and everything, so you could just get started. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so full tuition to start the program is 1,600. There's definitely many ways that I like to break that up for my students, and it helps them out when they break it up. How does that resonate with you? And
I see. I don't have the money for that.
okay.
I don't even have when I say I'm broke, I'm broke.
Hmm. Okay. So like I said, if you're set on the program and then you like the program and you want to start the program, I'll sit here with you and we can, try to figure out the money in a way that it could work for everybody. But, if you're not set on the program, it makes no point for me and you to sit here and try to figure out the money portion. So you're totally set that the program is something that you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. So if you don't mind me asking, like as far as like checking goes, like how much money do you have access to? Funds do you have access to, put into the program?
Well, paying for
Or
a
how
lot.
much funds do you have access to first before we say whether it's putting into the program or not?
I want to say probably like
And
50,
this is not to hold you to whatever you say. This is more so to see if I can help you or not. So
probably like 1,500 total.
1,500 total. Okay. And that's like checkings?
Yeah.
Okay, and what about like savings or whatever the case may be?
I have $100 in savings.
Okay. So like the program price in full is pretty much what you have access to as far as what you have. Okay. So obviously, right? Um, and what about like credit or anything like that? Have you been able to build your credit or anything?
Uh, no, sir.
So you haven't gotten started on credit.
Nope.
Mhm. I mean, there's a couple things that we could do. If you want, a lot of our students, they like to break it up with Klarna. I don't know what they would offer you, or you didn't get approved for that or not. But Klarna does break it into, very small payments that are like $100, maybe a month or something like that. And then they pretty much just like to use the commissions that they make from the program to just pay off the Klarna very simply. We could explore that route if you want. What do you think?
Is it as little as 100? Or is it?
Do you know your score right now? Because I'm not, we'd have to see if what they'd offer you. Do you know your score currently?
I don't even have credit
Mm,
at all.
okay.
How I got the loan for the Jeep was I had a cosigner. My dad co-signed, and that allowed me to be able to get the loan.
mm, mhm. Okay, so I mean, we don't have to necessarily explore Klarna. I guess what we could do, I typically don't like to do this, but what we could do is just I could do the financing for you in-house. No, obviously, I wouldn't ask you. And as a business owner, I don't think it's a good idea for you to spend everything you have, which is $1,600 today,
Yeah.
on the program. That puts you in an uncomfortable position, but we have to be safe when we say uncomfortable position. That's a little bit extreme. But I think you would agree that doing nothing also may not be the best option.
Yes.
So what I could do for you is let's pull out my calculator because I usually do Klarna. That's what most students do. Personalized plan, not too much. So, all right. So what I'll do for you is we could just break it up into a three pay, pretty much. So what that would mean is the full program price divided by three. We can do this month. What is it? April, May, June, 500, 500, 500. This month, obviously, you'd have to, eat that, whatever the case may be. But month two, we'd already have you on an offer, which would be generating you commissions to just pay off the rest of the program.
I would really like to talk this over with my girlfriend because she likes to make sure that I'm saving money.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's a way I could get back to you on that.
Hmm.
I
For
really
sure.
did.
Yeah, no, you could definitely get back to me. You could definitely get back to me as far as talking to your girlfriend. Like, what is it exactly that you want to go over? Just she
Okay.
likes to know that you're saving money. What is it that you want to go over with your girlfriend?
The fact that I'm able to save money and then I'm able to get money and pay this off. You know, if
Mm.
that's something that you know.
Hmm. For sure, for sure. So, I mean, yeah, I mean that's not a problem. Um, so what we say? We said 500 this month, 500 next month, 500 the month after.
Yeah.
Do you Is there any kind of like uncertainty that the program's gonna generate you the results to pay this off, or like what do you feel like maybe coming up?
Maybe because it's not I doubt your program, I doubt me. See, I put in, it's like for me, like with school, I put in a bunch of work, but then it's like when the time comes to actually like the test, like I completely just bomb it.
Hmm.
Just I don't know what it is with me. Like I'll do good on my learning the stuff, and then as soon as the real thing comes, like I guess what I'm saying is I'm more afraid of you helping me and then me just being really slow at learning it and just like completely failing at it at the end of the 30 months.
Yeah, for sure. Doesn't that go bring us right back to what we spoke about maybe 20 minutes ago as far as you being stuck in fear? So the fear is stopping you from wanting to take action. And when you're not wanting to take action, you stay stuck in the same spot.
Yeah.
And is that like how we want to keep living? Like how is that done for you so far? Like how has that gone for you so far? Thinking that same way, where we're stuck in fear, which is normal and natural. I feel fear. I'm not Superman or anything like that. I feel the same fear. But are we going to keep living that we're stuck in fear so we don't take any action? And then on top of that, we just stay stuck in the same exact spot?
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck in that spot.
Mhm. So, for example, right, when someone's giving you maybe the tools or the help that you need to get out of that spot, and then you shun it away to stay stuck in that spot, do you feel like that's the best choice?
Probably not. Most likely not.
So so the version of yourself that we spoke about that is making three times what you're currently making today, like what do they do to get out of that spot?
They stay consistent and work for it.
Do they take action?
Yeah, they take action.
Okay. Because ultimately, I can let you go off the call. It's not a problem to me. I have more calls, I have more trainings, whatever the case may be. I have a whole, you know, business that I'm running that I'm going to on Monday. My life will be whatever it will be. But the reason that I'm trying to hold you accountable is because normally what I see in these situations, people get off the call, they go, they overthink it, and then they never take action. And then they stay stuck in the same spot. So
Yeah.
as a coach, because I'm not just like not necessarily just a teacher or I'm not even a salesman or any of that. As a coach, I'd be a bad coach if I was just like, yeah, go talk to whoever, go do whatever you got to do. Why? Because I know how it is. I've been in sales for years. I've give people that same answer. And 99.99% of the time, when I used to give people those answers, I never jumped back on the call and took action. So do you want to keep living the way that we're living, or do we want to make some small changes to really take action, get the help we need?
I want to make that change.
And then look, I know it's tough. I know it's tough. I remember the first time that I sat in a chair for a program, probably 10 times or at least 8 times as much as the funding that goes into this program right here. And it was scary. I was nervous. I remember when I first clicked the button, just sending the money, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's nerve wracking. I'm not acting like it wasn't once upon a time for me. But nowadays, when I get on these calls, because I still do, there's things that I'm not, maybe not in sales anymore, but there's things that maybe it's marketing or maybe it's something that, I need some extra help on. I literally just close my eyes. I do it. Why? Because I know that no matter what, it's going to get me at least a huge leap step closer to my goal. They say, you buy like you sell like you buy. If you get on calls, and you say, I want to think about it and I want to go out with my girl and I want to do this, I want to do that. We spoke about this, right? You're going to sit in front of people who are going to tell you the same exact thing. And they're going to say, ah, da, da, I want to think about it, blah, blah. And you're not going to have any conviction to close them. So what do you do here?
I don't think she'd have a problem with me doing it at all. Regardless, I still want to get, somewhere in life.
Yeah. Would she have a problem with you if you said, hey, I'm about to, do this thing to 4x my current income as soon as 30 to 60 days? Because as long as you show up, we're gonna get you there. We're gonna get you there. I can't promise you 30K a month in 60
Yeah.
days, but to 3x where we're currently at from 1K, 1500 to 5K, it's not that big of a leap, right? So do you think she'd have a problem if you were like, I'm doing this thing, it's gonna 3x, or I took this risk, right? I took this, got the help that I actually needed to make three times what I'm currently making within the next 60 days.
I think since I'm not confident at Summer Academy with that training.
Yeah, because I know you're not confident. Listen, I'm not gonna knock. I know they're training. I know you're not confident in it. It's fine. There's definitely two different Like I've been trained. I'm not knocking them. Kudos to them. They're young kids. They decided that they wanted to start a program. I'm not knocking anyone that starts a program.
Oh, yeah.
But I've received training from the top 1%, and I've paid top 1% money to get that training. It's like a completely different world. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless of how much money they've made off it or whatever, it's a completely different one. So it's like, which world do you want to be in? Like,
I
you
want
want
to
to
be.
be in the DM setter world of people who just saw some shiny object and were like, yo, that looks cool, that looks awesome. Like they posted a Rolex. I want to post a Rolex. And you don't have any real drive behind it to actually get into sales besides a Rolex. And you're not going to make much money. You might make the money that a Rolex costs and never make any more money after that. Or do you want to be in the world, in the realm of people who are actually in the top 5% of sales, making top 5% money?
Well, let me ask you this: would you be willing to let me take that offer if I could just like? It's not like I'm putting it off, but I want to get a little bit more money before I start that. Would that be an issue or
I mean, listen, it's never an issue with me. It's just back to the same thing that we were just talking about,
I
as
know?
opposed to
Yeah.
it's never an issue with me. I'm never going to tell you there's no lock button here on the call that says you can't leave and that I'm to do X, Y, and Z. It's just more so like, do you feel like as an action taker that you're saying that you want to be starting today, that that's what an action taker would do? Or do you feel like that's the easy way out? Because that's easy. That's easy. You make $2,000 more, right? And you're like, phew, okay. Now I can, that's easy. And like, does that easy, comfortable decision really put you in the position that you want to actually grow the way that you're telling me you want to?
No.
So why do it? Like, what's the purpose of doing it?
Just really holding on to that fear I need to let go of.
hmm So like I said, are we gonna let go of the fear, or are we just gonna keep doing the same thing that's generated us the results that we clearly no brainer don't want?
You're right.
So what do we do?
Probably take action.
Okay. Okay. So pretty much, how it'll work is there's a few different ways that like I said, we're gonna do 500, 500, 500. There's no risk on your end. I have agreements and all that. So in the worst case scenario, you really don't have much to lose. All you lose is maybe a month of your time, or the case may be. If you're not happy with the program, we just run the payment back to you. 1,500, 500, 1,000 is never worth my business. You know what I mean? So in the worst case scenario, you just be refunded the money, right? But what we can do is to start, I could send you a payment link if that's easiest for you, or we could do Zelle. There's many ways that we could break it up.
Probably. Man, I'm just stuck on what my girlfriend might do if she finds out I do this.
Like I said, we're going to get started. We're going to get results, and we're not going to keep living in fear and thinking all that. She's probably going to feel like that.
Yeah,
Probably does feel like that based on everything that you've done to this date. But starting right now, we're going to think different. We're going to move different, and we're going to actually get results. And we're not going to make it a problem. Why? Because you're going to show up, you're going to get results. And that's how it's going to. Does that make sense?
and you said around 30 to 60 days that I could make.
30 days on an offer. If you show up to every single call and you're more motivated than some of the people that come in, right? We'll get you a little bit sooner than 30 days. Sometimes I expedite that process to like week 2 or 3, depending on what's going on. So 15 to 30 days to get on an offer before you actually start getting the payouts that you're looking for, probably like 50 days, 45 days,
And that's like 4 to 5K, right?
a
Around that,
month,
a little
a
less.
month, a month. And it's definitely something more than $1,500, even if we're 3K and we had to jump you an offer because the offer wasn't generating what you wanted to. Definitely, in 60 days, double what you're making right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Listen, I know it's hard. That's what I'm saying. That's why,
It is really hard.
if anything, I'm trying to hold you accountable to the person that you're saying, the identity that you're saying that you want to have. Because, like I said, I could easily be like, go save some more money and all that stuff. It doesn't work. Like, I tried it. So, like, I'm trying to save you some time on the time that I wasted, trying to think that I could just watch free content and join free courses and get the results that people that were actually paying to get are going to get. Oh,
Yeah.
no, go ahead. Get your question out. What's up?
So I'm just worried about like if I don't make that much within the first 30 days, because I like to push myself too. I like to be like, well, stay on top of things, and then like for when I went through Urban Academy, I was like, all right, you only got a month to do this. Let's go to work.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, if you don't, so if you don't, depending on what you have available in your checking account a month from today, if the program hasn't generated you money yet, the money that you're looking for to be able to pay that off, we can always push the next payment off 1 month. Like, let's say you don't get started on an offer for 25 days from now, right? And then you're like, yo, Jay, I'm in a screwed up position, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the kind of coach that's going to be like, well, May 19th, we have that date. I need that 500. No, let's get you on an offer first. We'll get you the results that we're looking to get, right? Maybe it won't be a full 4K yet, right? But we'll have you making some money. We'll have you making some money. And then we could just push the second payment to the end of May or June 19th. It's not a problem with me.
Okay, and then with the phone calls meetings. So is it like, do you do a meeting with like a group of people, or is it like one on one?
There's group meetings, but I try to, if you go through the course this way, if you go through the program this way, it's a lot of one-on-one. So we do at least two one-on-ones a week. That's tailored to your schedule. So the same way that we tailor this call to your schedule, we
Yeah.
tailor the one-on-one to your schedule. You would just let me know, like, yo, Jay, I'm good for 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on Thursday, and I would figure out a way for it to work. It's like I've been doing for the rest of the students.
Could you run me through a one on one type training thing, like how you do a one on one call with somebody? Like what type of things do you run through?
I'm sorry, like, what is the purpose you asked? Like, what? Just wondering what's coming up that's making you ask that. I could do that, but I just want to know why. Like, what?
I just want to know like what, because I know Summer Academy when they do calls, they do group calls, but it's like they do like role play, and then the guy will tell you like what you need to fix, kind of maybe. But
And do you like that?
no, I like to role play. I just don't like to role play when there's 30 people watching you on a camera.
Well, my calls are one-on-one. I don't do much group. And if you pay for the program this way, you won't even have to worry about the group. The group's for people who really are either in a free version of it or some other version of it, right?
Yeah,
So it'll be one-on-one, and I'm literally going to just show you. I don't hold anything back, give you the exact tools that I use to get people onto calls and make money and get my closers or myself closing deals, the exact framework, and just run you through it. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you know it. And there's no pressure as far as putting you in front of a whole audience of people on your first day.
yeah,
Does that sound helpful?
that sounds helpful.
All right. So, I mean, do you have any other questions?
Um, I I don't think so. I think that was really it.
Yeah. So, it'll be one-on-one. Since we spent so much time on the call already, we could just book in your first call now, get you all the tools and the access to the course and everything that you need right now. It'll only take like 10 more minutes. Tackle the tuition. So, like I said, do 500. Then it would be May 19th, another 500. But let's see where we get as far as getting you on the offer and how much you've made off it, right? And if not, we just push it to you push it back a couple weeks or push it to mid-June.
Okay.
Okay. So what works best for you, Zelle, or do you want me to send a payment link?
Well, a payment link.